Hey guys, it's Nick from Begin Fit here today, and I'm just going to go through my 5 training and gym bag musts. Okay, so if you are going to the gym regularly and you want to become either a professional athlete or you're training properly and you're training hard, there are a couple of things there are 5 things in fact that I feel like everybody should have. So the first thing we're going to look at is wrist straps. Okay, so these, when you're doing things like bench press or military press or anything where it's going to put some stress on your wrists, especially for me where I do a lot of punching, my wrists take a lot of pounding, so I need to support my wrists. This is why these are excellent. So what you do is they all come with a little thumb bit here that you put your thumb through, and you have Velcro on one side, and all you're going to do is wrap this nice and tightly around your wrist like this. So now this will help support your wrist, especially as the weight gets heavier. You'll see I wear these a lot in my videos, and as the weight gets heavier, it will just support your wrist, help keep it warm, and just keep everything nice and tight. So they're long like this. Again, one bit has Velcro, the other part has the other part to the Velcro that sticks down. Wrap it around nice and tight. So you don't want to go so tight that it cuts the circulation off to your hands, but you do want them nice and tight so you can get the full benefit and the full support out of them when you're pressing, when you're curling, when you're doing anything that is going to have some, could have some flexion in your wrist. Okay, so this is my first gym bag item. So I put this over here. My second is going along the same theme as wrist straps, and that is these kind of wrist straps. So now they're a long strap like this, and then one end will have a hole. So what you do is you just get the strap, you put it through the hole, so it makes this shape. Okay, wearing a black t-shirt showing you something black isn't the best. And what you're going to do is, the way to put these on is to put your hands in them through the hole, and you want this part to lay across the hole between your finger and your thumb. So that is where it's going to be tight here, and then you wrap this around the bar and you can grip it. Now this is good for things like shrugs or deadlifts when you're trying to go a lot heavier and your grip will fail you. So you put these on and it will just help keep that bar tight in your grip, and also it helps mind muscle connection. So instead of when you're struggling on a deadlift and you can feel it slipping down your fingers, that's where your mind goes. It goes into your fingers and you're thinking, oh my god, I'm about to let go of it, and then without knowing it, brings your shoulders forward because you're concentrating on your hands and not concentrating on keeping your shoulders pinned back. Your back can start to arch. So when you're going heavy, it is ideal to get some straps to really make sure you haven't got to worry about your grip failing you at all, and you can focus everything on your form and your technique that you're performing. If it was a deadlift, for example, making sure your shoulders are back, your back straight, and you're pulling through without having to worry about your grip failing you. Talking of deadlifts, when you are doing deadlifts or squats or military press, shrugs, anything that is going to be heavy, that is going to put some stress on your lower back, an ideal thing to get, which I would definitely recommend paying, even if it's a bit extra, to get a high quality one. I did have like a plasticky one before, and after getting this, after I did a little bit of strongman training, I would never go back to one like that. This is definitely a type of belt you'd want, a hard leather one that is thick. I've got an RDX one, you can get this on Amazon. It's brilliant belt. Keeps everything nice and tight, keeps your core tight, keeps, again, your mind muscle connection better because you're not worrying about the pressure in your lower back. Things like squats, things like military press, when you push your head through, can put a lot of pressure on your lower back. So keeping a belt nice and tight around your waistband, belly button area nice and tight, this can really help and make a massive difference. Okay, and also with a little, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that keeping a belt on can actually keep your waist tighter and smaller, because you're not letting those muscles expand and grow and tense and stuff, so it can actually help keep your waist smaller, but I don't know if that's true. And one thing, when you do buy a belt, if you get it from new, it will be quite tough, so a thing to do is to roll it up like this, put it under something heavy, so it's compressing it down, something heavy, leave it there for a couple of hours, take it out, roll it back the other way, put it under something heavy again for a couple of hours, to and fro until it all loosens up around where the holes are, and then you are pretty much good to go. So definitely suggest getting a belt, especially as you get stronger and you're going to be lifting heavier weights. It's just going to put more and more pressure on your lower back, so this is definitely a key thing to help. Now, when you lift heavy, see how this all just rolls on to the next one? When you lift heavy, you're going to get aches and pains, and you're going to get tight muscles and tension. So to relieve that is a foam roller. Now these cost about £20 roughly. You can pick them up on Amazon or most sports shops. I've done a video, so check it out, on how to foam roll. Personally, I would get one that has these ridges on it and isn't too tough. Don't want it too soft, but you definitely don't want it too tough, because it can start to bruise you and stuff like that, and just, it doesn't have to be that hard. You know, this is just like a foam, but obviously when it compresses down with your weight, it doesn't just squash completely, and this is a really ideal foam roller for exactly what I need. So check out the video on how to foam roll. But the ideas behind foam rolling is literally just to separate all that lactic acid out that you build up when you train, and also just to relieve any tension, because when you're putting your muscles under so much stress, they're going to tighten up and tense, and this will just relieve and loosen off any tight muscle you've got, and therefore prevent injury. Our fifth thing that we have, now some of you may have thought about this before but never actually done it, but I would definitely get one so you can keep track of exactly how you're progressing, and just keep track of, you know, how you felt that day, and that is a black book. Now in here I write in there, like I'll write my goals, I'll write my program, I will write my actual workouts out, and then I will write the date, what muscle group I'm working, and then exactly what I did, how many of what weight, etc, etc, and make sure that I've just got a log to keep progressing each week, each month, that I know I can look back and go, oh right, cool, I started on X weight and now I've moved up to, you know, Z. So definitely would get one of these. You don't have to write too much into it. It's not like a diary, or I woke up at X time and this, that and the other. You can do, there's nothing wrong with that, but really this is just a workout log of keeping track of exactly what you lifted, when you lifted, how many of it, etc, etc, and you can really, this helps progression so much. It's one of those little things that just you haven't got to think about, so this will just help you progress, and it's just something else you haven't got to worry about. You write it in there, you can forget it until you pick this up next week. You look and you think, right, I started on that, I worked up to this, so I'll start on this week and work up. Yeah, so, and I've got one more thing. I've got a bonus bit of equipment for you. So if you are really into your lifting and you want to get good strength gains, especially in overhead press and squats, this is going to help, then I would definitely recommend getting a pair of lifting shoes. Okay, so these are Adidas, and I'm not too sure what the style is, doesn't say on there, but these are some lifting shoes. They've got this hard sole that is solid, which keeps you slightly elevated. You see some people put weights under their heels, but these made my squat. When I was strength training before, I started squatting and my best was around 120, and I bought these, and by the end of my strength training I was doing 170 kg squat for about 3, and I definitely think this is a lot to do with it. It takes the pressure off your lower back, it keeps you planted, it keeps you supported, it's more comfortable. I definitely recommend, if you are trying to get a lot stronger, if you're trying to get your squats a lot stronger and your overhead press, something where you need that support as well as a belt, I would definitely recommend getting some lifting shoes. Doesn't have to be these ones, they do lots of different brands and different styles. I really like those ones. Again, I'm an Amazon freak, I bought them off Amazon, they cost me about £80, which seems quite a lot, but I use them every leg day and I use them every shoulder day. Every time I'm doing a military press and I'm going heavy, I will use them. So they get used at least once, sometimes twice a week, every week. So it's definitely an investment that is worthwhile, I believe, if you're trying to progress your lifts up and up and up and get a lot stronger and really look at your training seriously. Then it's definitely something that I would recommend getting. But that was a bonus one. These are the 5 things that I would definitely get. So just to remind you, you've got your wrist straps to support your wrists. You've got your other types of wrist straps which will help with your lifts when you're lifting things, to help, you know, keep your grip from failing, and then to keep your mind and muscle connection 100%, so you can focus on that. I would get a lifting belt, because that is just going to support your core and your lower back, which is very common to get injured, so be careful. A belt will definitely help that. A foam roller, just to keep us all nice and supple and to keep us all moving well. A black book to keep progress, so we haven't got to think about it. It's one less thing for us to worry about on our game train. We can just write it all down and we are ready to go. And then of course the bonus one that I just spoke about is the lifting shoe. So they are my 5 to 6, if you count the bonus one, things that I would definitely recommend any person that is going to go to the gym and takes it very seriously. Then there's something definitely in getting each of them items. Really recommend them. So this was just my personal opinion. Let me know if I've missed anything out that you guys think is a definite must at the gym, equipment wise. So let us know, and yeah, if there's anything you want me to review or anything like that, let me know and I'll be happy to do that. So Nick from Begin Fit, and we'll see you in the next one.